Yo, what's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shadicstick, and I'm back spitting some hot Faraga right on this mic. And you know, today we're gonna be talking about Final Fantasy 15. I gotta address my last video. A lot of people thought those were my opinions on the game. They weren't. They were things I was seeing in the community. I was saying, oh, people are hating the game for this reason, or the game is getting, hate for this and this reason, which I thought, it didn't deserve hate for. Now, that video was not the best video put out. I did put a lot of effort into that video, but I didn't go back and, do enough, I feel like, on that video. A lot of people were pointing out some things that, were legitimate criticism. Some people were just blindly hating me. But at the end of the day, I could have did better on that video. Anybody can tell me I could have did better, especially, with the But, that was the third or fourth time I had recorded it. And I really did not want to go back and record it again. I was really already frustrated with the thing, because when I can't, to keep the sentence going, I usually say and that kind of takes away from what I'm trying to say. So I'm really trying to I've really been trying to cut down on the So don't worry, there won't be so many
Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stack. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Alright guys, so this is your man Shadicstick. I'm here to give you my pre-release final opinions on Final Fantasy 15. This is my final opinion, or my final opinions about the game before the game releases on certain aspects of the game. So let's get started with the gameplay. One thing I really have to say about the gameplay, it has really improved since, especially the sky. Let's just take the sky as the starting point. The sky, we really got that feel for how they wanted the game to play for the very first time. They wanted all this kind of fluid motion between your combos and what weapons you were choosing. But at the end of the day, it was really clunky. It was not kind of clunky. It was really clunky, but it was still enjoyable. The game was still enjoyable, but it was really clunky, especially since you had this directional input for changing between each type of weapon. Now, when we look at its successor, Platinum Demo, we got the modern type of gameplay from Final Fantasy. I wouldn't say modern, but it's more akin to the recent kind of gameplay we're seeing with 15 as far as weapon switching and the inventory and the way the items work. Now, one thing I gotta say is it was clunky. It was a little bit clunky. It wasn't a lot clunky. Now, when we get to Final Fantasy 15's current gameplay, because I played Judgement Disc, so I know how the game plays. This is what the game is gonna play like when it comes out. This is the game before it comes out. They just really cut out a chunk of the game and gave it to us to play. I feel like this is so fluid. The gameplay is just seamless as far as you going from combat, especially to non-combat situations. The characters kind of leaning and they're like, oh god, we got a plan, guys. Or you could just go straight into the combat. You can teleport, hit your enemies, hit that shift break, get into a swift combo another enemy, team up with your boys Gladio, Promptus, and Ignis to take down some bosses, and I really like that. On top of that, it's not easy. The game is challenging but rewarding in the fact that they give you strong enemies, and there's sort of a learning curve to the combos, but it is rewarding, and things like the parry make it even more rewarding. When you hit the parry for the first time, like outside of the tutorial, you feel like you've accomplished something, because Noctis comes back with another combo. He starts another combo with Circle, and it's just phenomenal. Like, it's seamless, it's fluid, like I said before. But one thing I do have to say that makes it challenging is you can't just spam things. You can't just spam, like, say for instance, the teleport. You will get an MP burst and you'll just be taken out of the combat. Then again, you can use that teleport to your advantage to string combos together from one enemy to the next. But like I said again, you can't just spam it and abuse it and think it'll just work. No, Noctis will go to into MP burst, and against many enemies that are super strong, like the Iron Giants, the giant suits of armor and stuff like that, or the Bandersnatch, Noctis will get one hit KO. He will get bodied. He will get faded. He will not stand a chance against it. But you still, like, you felt like it was your fault. You never felt like it was actually the game's fault. you felt like it was your fault. You shouldn't have been spamming the teleport. Like, admittedly, I would do that sometimes in gameplay to, you know, get to another enemy, and it would hurt me in the end because what I wind up doing is just hurting myself because Noctis will go into MP burst and the enemies will just be like, all right, time to team up on Shadicstick right now. He done used up all of Noctis's MP, and I'll get faded. You know what I mean? It felt great. Like I said, it's combo heavy. On top of that, being combo heavy, it's fast paced. Now, a lot of people saw Lost Souls and were like, this is what Final Fantasy 15 should be. No, that's a hack and slash. Final Fantasy 15 is an action RPG, but it's still fast paced. It's really fast paced. You know, things just go together. You could be doing a combo and then Noctis will team up with Prompto, you know, hit a Link combo in the middle of his own combo with a back hit Link combo and then link it with Ignis. It's just seamless. I'm telling you, the gameplay is phenomenal, and I really can't wait, especially since the magic before, when we saw it, it was really clunky. It was really clunky the way you had to aim it, do all this. Now you just throw it and it aims at them. You can aim the magic still as you please, but the way magic works is if you're locked onto the enemy, they just throw it at the enemy and they throw it down. And the magic, it hits everybody. Everybody's affected on the battlefield. And what winds up happening is the field gets affected. You know, you see all these visual effects, and this will lead us into our next topic, which is the graphics. The game looks beautiful. I can tell they downgraded some stuff, upgraded a lot of things, but what I have to say is this game is beautiful, period. Even on the regular PS4 without HDR, this game looks phenomenal, and I'm really glad it looks as good as it does. There wasn't really any frame drops. There was one here or there, but it wasn't massive. It was like 2 or 3 frames because when you're playing on a regular PS4, it's locked at 30, whereas the other PS4 you can go above 30 and beyond. It's PS4 Pro mode, but I wish I got to play it in this. I don't have a PS4 Pro, sadly, but I hope to get one soon, so maybe we'll see that. Not to stray too far off topic here, Final Fantasy 15 is beautiful, and the graphics create this kind of atmosphere. You don't feel like you're playing a game. You feel more like you're watching a movie, or you feel like you're in the place in the game where you are. That's how beautiful the game is, and it creates this type of atmosphere where you feel like whatever situation you're in is realistic. It's not fake. It's not crafted for the game. It feels authentic. The game feels realistic in a sense because of its graphics, because of its graphical fidelity. No matter who you are, you have to admit this game is phenomenal. And one thing I gotta say is I love the way they do the magic. The magic looks amazing in this game. On top of it affecting everything, including, you know, the landscape. It affects the enemies, the visuals on you and your teammates. If you get hit, if everybody gets hit by fire, your clothes are scorched, and they're scorched like that until you heal. Even if you gain your health back, your clothes are like that until you heal, or you go change out of them or something. This is not like the game has a lot of detail. Your clothes get dirty until you go camp. You know what I mean? This is amazing. You stay when you get frozen. There's frost. The air thickens and turns white. Your body is frozen. The game is amazing. Graphically, gameplay wise, I couldn't tell you about story. We didn't get that much story in this demo, but I can tell you everybody looks fresh, so I'm happy about that. I'm really happy that we got a lot of cosmetics. I'm sorry I'm throwing this in here with graphics, but there were a lot of cosmetics we got to choose from just for the demo. We got to choose between 4 different variations of clothing for each member of the party, and I love that. That made me feel like I had some type of control over my character. The character didn't feel like, oh, it's this the entire game. No, you get to choose your costume. You know, the game gives you at least 4 different costumes from the beginning. Also like the fact that, you know, before we go on, I want to touch on weapons a bit. We got a few weapons in the demo. I love that, and a lot of the weapons look nice. You know, they aren't just the same generic item forever. No, they look different, especially when you got the great sword. When you upgrade it from the regular great sword to the newer great sword, it looked over the top. And many of Noctis's swords and many of the knives, the guns, they all look different. They looked amazing. Now, before we end off the video, I gotta talk about the downsides of the game. The game suffers from glitches, and while they aren't very big glitches, there are some that have hindered my gameplay. One I have to talk about is this little graphical glitch where it didn't hinder my gameplay. This didn't hinder my gameplay specifically. I'm gonna talk about those in a minute, but it was this one graphical glitch where it was flashing, or people have shown where Pronto or somebody would be in a cutscene and they would just be hopping on top of the other party member's head or something like that. It was just weird stuff like that. That stuff was kind of funny, but the game developers aren't perfect. Stuff like that happens. But there was a glitch where my game actually kind of froze up because it didn't know what to do. And this was when I was in the Regalia and I was driving and a flame giant appeared in the middle of the road. Now, if you don't know, when you're in the Regalia, you cannot actually get back to the car and get back in it when there are enemies around the car. You have to defeat the enemies. And I had to run all the way back to a camp and sleep before I could get back to my car. And that wasn't the issue. That wasn't the issue. It was the fact that it forces you out of the car when there's an enemy near, and the enemy spawned right under me. So my game froze, turned black screen for a good 2 or 3 minutes. I really thought my PS4 or something was done, because hearing from Paris Games Wink about the PS4 overheating, I was just like, there's something happening with my PS4, something wrong. No, I pressed the home button and nothing was wrong with that. So I was just like, what's happening? And then the cutscene for you to get out of Regalia started flickering in and out, and it would restart and restart, and then blackout, restart, and then it stopped for a minute, and then it showed them actually finally getting out of the Regalia, and I was able to run away. And this happened for a matter of about 5, 6, 7 minutes, and that scared me because I really thought the game was busted or something, like something had actually genuinely happened to my PS4 rather than just it being the game. But it was the game, because I waited it out and I saw it. You can go back and watch my streams and you would see it. That was something that really was kind of scared me about the game. But then again, that didn't really happen all that much. That happened like once or twice, once when I was streaming and once when I wasn't streaming, but otherwise nothing else really happened. Another thing I gotta say is the Regalia. The Regalia driving itself is fine. I love it. I love that you have auto driving. I love that you have the option to drive. The issue is you can only drive by yourself at night, and during the day you have to have it on auto drive. Now you can override auto drive a little bit. Basically, you could just steer it yourself or whatever, but if you're not holding the stick and shaking it or whatever, Ignis will turn the car straight around and start going back, and it gets quite annoying. And there are a lot of times I wanted to auto drive to someplace at night and I couldn't. But from what I know, this is going to be an ability we earn to drive it any time of the day manually and any time at night on auto. So all in all, it isn't really that bad. It's just a minor gripe I have. Well, anyways, guys, tell me how you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed the Judgement Disc demo. I put about 7-8 hours into it, and I love it. It's fantastic, and I really think the game is going to be phenomenal when it comes out. This has been your man Shadicstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and I'm out of here. Peace. Kiss, kiss.